What's up and good morning, guys? Welcome back to the HPP. I am ABC. Otherwise said, this is the Human Performance Project. I am Adam Benjamin Coleman, your host and subject, pioneer of this diverse channel. So, first of all, I hope everyone had a good weekend, good Labor Day. Hopefully, you didn't have to work too hard on Labor Day, if you did work at all. And if you did work, be grateful you got a job. I don't know. There's always an upside, like the perspective thing you always hear me talk about. So today, I didn't really want to talk about perspective. I wanted to talk about, I guess, really more motivation and mindset. And a lot of this came from watching Nick Walker and his channel, The Walker Nation, which if you get a chance, check it out. And I got a lot out of some of the things that he was talking about, or some of the questions that he answered on his channel, I guess. And they all had to do with, I guess, motivation and hard times and good times and what keeps him going and, what roadblocks he's encountered and this and that. Pretty basic questions, but when you really get down to hearing an individual's answers, there's a lot that goes into it, and I think people see individuals like Nick Walker and for whatever reason they see, this good-looking, well-built, pretty well-spoken young man, and their first thought is not usually, I wonder what struggles he's gone through to get to this point. It's usually just like, oh, he probably doesn't have any real struggles at all. Like, what would he really know about having to be where I am, from the person's perspective watching the video. And that's just not the case. He got where he is by starting where we are, on the other side of the camera. And sorry, these are bugging me, the glare. And so, he's a normal human being. He's gone through some serious things, and I applaud him for being honest about them, because they're not easy to talk about. They're not easy to hear about. They're situations that no one should have to deal with. And a lot of people choose not to. A lot of people check out and commit suicide, or just turn to a life of drugs and alcohol and just kind of numb out. And Nick, like myself, he went down that road a little ways and realized that it was pretty dark and he didn't want to keep going that direction. And, by the grace of God, at least that's what it was for me, was able to have that moment of clarity and turn it around and to do something different. And hearing that and seeing that, it continues to inspire me. It lights a new fire under me to keep going and doing what I'm doing, because there are certain points where you start to question what you're doing, or why am I doing this. And like for me with the bodybuilding thing, it's something that I tried to do years ago for the wrong reasons, but I'm glad that I did it because I had some success. I learned that I was good at it. I learned that there was definite opportunity there in various areas, not just competition, but coaching, being a promoter, being a sponsor for an athlete or to a show. There's a lot of different things you can do to kind of mesh together with a career in the fitness industry, which is what I want. I want to continue to grow as a professional in the supplement, fitness, bodybuilding, whatever else you want to add on industry, health and fitness. And when I first started this in my early 20s, it was really just more a personal thing of wanting to be bigger and better and feel like the muscles or the success was going to be like a safety net, like it was going to save me from some of these struggles that I was going through and some of these feelings that I was having, the addiction, the anxiety and all that. And I learned that's not the case. It is, but it isn't. Like nothing by itself is going to just totally make those things go away. It's a cumulative effort, and it all starts with work on my part. But having big muscles or small muscles wasn't going to save me from those things. That wasn't the answer to my problems. And So I went some time without bodybuilding, and I went back to bicycle racing and just being a lazy piece of shit sometimes and not really doing anything. But for whatever reason, since I've started working out at a young age, I've never been able to stop. I've always found some way to do something, whether it's just body weight work and calisthenics and plyometrics, kettlebells and lightweight dumbbells, bands, running in the sand dunes, whatever. Like I found a way to do something. And because I can't just be inactive. It's not because I feel like I'm not gonna look good. It's because I don't feel good. Mentally, I just feel so much better if I have some exercise and some quality nutrition in my life as opposed to not having it. And so I went through some identity periods, and I just let all the muscle mass that I had gained go away, basically. And I did it on purpose. I was at a place where I didn't have access to vitamins, supplements, anything. And that was torture to me, not being able to take just a multivitamin or fish oil or these things that I knew were beneficial for me, and just be a regular ass person eating what was put on my plate and realizing that I'm not special. It was necessary, it was necessary to kind of find out who Adam Coleman was or what really made me tick, besides the gym, and then I guess when I figured some of those things out, the drive to do bodybuilding was still very much there. And so I gave it another whirl, and about 6 months ago, after living in a flea bag hotel for almost 8 months and saving up every dime I could, I bought a condo with the help of my family as far as getting a good loan. But, I got a place that's mine, and I didn't stay in a flea bag hotel anymore. And I made a lot of different decisions in terms of how I spent my time and the people that I spent my time with since then. And, I've gone back to a bodybuilding lifestyle and a bodybuilding training protocol. And, I went from a pretty unhappy, sickly, skinny fat 157 pounds in early March, I guess, to 183.2 pounds at about 12% body fat this morning. And I am going to compete in the Governor's Cup on December 4th. It's gone back and forth as far as, am I going to do a show? Am I not going to do a show? When is the show going to be? The Governor's Cup is what it's going to be. And, I don't have any support, really. I have one person behind me right now in the form of a kind of a coach, mentor, friend, just sort of a do-it-all person that will probably be moving in with me pretty soon. He has some experience with bodybuilding. He has a lot of experience with life, and he's honest with me. He tells me when I'm fucking up. He tells me when I'm doing well, and I need that. I really do. I've learned over the course of my life that the people that love you are going to be the people that are brutally honest with you, even if you don't want to hear it. And that is an act of love. It might hurt your feelings, might sting for a minute, but they're telling you so that you can get better and build past it and not continue to make the same mistake and have the same frustrations. And I will have this coach Lewis on here with me someday very soon. We'll start doing some training together and get those videoed as well. And he's really putting some ideas in my head in terms of how to market myself more efficiently and to really make this a legitimate effort and to do what I say I want to do, And this show in December, it's not just a bodybuilding show. It's a lot more than that for me. And I already look better now at 37 years old than I ever have in my life. I know that if I were to dial everything in and get ready to compete in a week, that I would look better than I ever have in my life, and that I could probably place pretty well at a show, even now. But I'm not gonna rush it. I want to be at or near a certain weight when I do this again. I'm not gonna cut corners and do it for just the sake of saying I did it. I'm gonna do it and do it right and give it 100% of my attention and effort, because that's what it deserves. And I've never done that before, and even not doing that, I've been able to land on the podium at a pretty decent sized NPC show in open class bodybuilding as a middleweight. This time I'll be a light heavyweight, and the plan is to qualify for nationals, pick a national show, go to that show, and win a pro card, or at least be the best that I can be. Again, as long as I do that, even if I get last place, it's still a victory, as long as I know that I put my all into it. Right now, getting the results that I'm getting, if I'm 100% honest, I'm probably like 75, 80% at 12 and a half weeks out. And that's good news, because that means I still have some tricks up my sleeve, and I can still do some things in these last couple months that will make a tremendous difference and get me to where I needed to be and beyond. When I start posing and look at myself in the mirror, it's the first time in my life that I feel like I actually look like I would belong on stage. Everything is complete. It's not where I want it to be size-wise, but everything is complete. There's clarity, symmetry, proportional balance between all the parts of my body. And even though I'm obviously not the biggest guy in the world, I look a lot bigger than I actually am when I start posing and present things the right way, which is half of the trick of bodybuilding. It's an illusion in a sense. But it's been a lot of fun for me to kind of like do this again and do it right and pay more attention to my form and my posture, change my training a little bit, train smarter, not harder, and be able to eat the amount of food that I'm eating and still be losing body fat, man. It just blows my mind. It blows my mind. I spent years doing it one way and listening to what everyone else said I needed to do, and then realized that pretty much the opposite of that was what worked for me. And since then, man, it's been game on. It's been a completely different situation. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to the process. And really my only hesitancy now is just finances, because it is $150 per class, and I want to enter more than one category. I'd like to do 3, the novice, masters, and open, but it'll probably just be 2. Definitely open for sure is granted, but either the masters or the novice. I'll probably do the masters if I had to pick between the 2, but that doesn't matter right now. It's one day at a time through these next 88 days, and then on to Sacramento, and it gets tough sometimes, because like I said, I don't have any support. Like my family, my parents, they don't approve of bodybuilding. They don't feel like it's healthy or that it's safe, and they've never really been behind me and made an effort to understand it or why it's so important to me, which on some levels hurts my feelings. It really does. But on another level, fuck it. I'm doing this for me, not for them. And I don't need someone to pat me on the ass and tell me I'm doing the right thing. I'm doing this because I know it's the right thing for me to do. And it would be a waste of my talents, my God-given talents and abilities, if I didn't. And that's something that I can't allow myself to live with. All I can do is show them, that I'm not taking it to extremes. Is it the safest, healthiest thing in the world? No. Is there any hobby that at the very highest level of competition is 100% like safe and just, la-di-da? No, there's not. I don't care what sport or pursuit it is. If you are at the threshold of becoming a professional and being the best amateur in the nation or one of the best pros in the world, like, you are going to have to make some decisions that are borderline, are they healthy, are they good or bad? And there's always going to be somebody who says the opposite of what I say or thinks the opposite of what I think. And no matter how well I feel I've thought something out and am doing, there's always going to be someone who wants to talk shit and poke holes in my plan, you know, and that's all right. That's all right. You know, I need that too. That keeps me sharp. It keeps me thinking. It keeps me analyzing what I'm doing, making sure that it is, you know, spot on 100% what it is intended to be and going to be beneficial for me and my goals. So, you know, the support helps. It really does. And when I say I have zero support, like, that's a little dramatic. I don't have like a whole lot of people around me that are gonna help me. And to be completely honest with you, I don't want that shit right now. I want this to be something that I do. And I definitely am excited to have Lewis on board and to have an objective set of eyes and an honest opinion. That's just completely invaluable. Also somebody with a good head on their shoulders to keep me calm, because I'm a stress monkey and I have a tendency to get a little too wound up in, you know, the traffic on the ride to the event, and we're not even at the event yet, you know. So I mean, I really just have to work on just being in each moment and realizing that it's okay. It is what it is at this moment in time. This is how it's supposed to be right now. You know, you don't have to like it, but you really shouldn't try to fight it, because you're just gonna be wasting energy and time, you know, that you could be putting elsewhere. So just ride with it, man. You know, figure out how you can not necessarily wait for a great situation, but just pull greatness out of every situation that you find yourself in. And that is what separates people that are successful from people who only daydream about it, in my opinion. You know, the people that can find a way to make do with the hand they're dealt and still get to where they want to go. Those are the people that I want to be like. Those are the people that I find myself being drawn to. So, you know, that's the kind of man that I want to try to be today. Our mentality and our moods and all that stuff, you know, I have good days, I have bad days like anyone else. We get so wrapped up in trying to like name people or categorize people. Like, he's an angry person, he's you know, he has ADD, he has anxiety, he has depression, it's this, it's that. Dude, fuck, we all have good days, we all have bad days, you know. Like, the only thing that you can call me is my name, because I'm gonna have some days where I'm in a better mood than others. That doesn't mean that I'm, you know, a head case. And to anyone listening to this, it doesn't mean that you are either. Someone's like, man, you know, you're angry today. Like, well, yeah, I'm fucking angry because this happened, this happened, this happened, and I have a legitimate reason to be angry. Anger is a normal human emotion. Staying angry and letting it screw up your day and the day of those around you, that's not cool. You know, that's gonna end you alone and miserable. But it's the same thing with happiness, you know? Like, if you're happy because this and this and this happened, that's awesome, man. Cool, great, and thank you for sharing that. But don't be one of these people that just like tries too hard to be just shit and skittles every damn day because, you know, oh, life is just wonderful. No, it's not. Not all the time. It's just the way it is. It can't be, you know? Happiness is attainable. It's not 100% sustainable. Okay, so, you know, you got to kind of make your own happiness on some levels and find your own happiness. And that, again, goes back to that magic perspective thing that I keep talking about, where it just is up to you sometimes on how you look at shit. You know, is it a blessing? Is it a curse? Fortune or misfortune? Sometimes hard to tell. Thanks, Mom. So yeah, that thought, that being who you want to be, because I don't think anyone wakes up in the morning and like, I'm gonna be an angry prick. I'm just gonna be mad at everyone and just, you know, angry at everything. No, I don't know anyone that wakes up in the morning and that's how they choose to be. But you do have that choice. The way that you respond to things or react to things, that's up to you. It's up to you. And the sooner that you're able to realize that and realize that we create habits in our behaviors just like we do in our daily physical activities. What side you put deodorant on first, it's a habit. Which hand you use to brush your teeth with, it's a habit. When you put your shampoo in your hair, do you use one hand or do you use two hands? That's a habit. You know, there's things that you wired in your brain to do, and the responses that you have to situations are no different. You know, if my dog shits on the carpet, I have a choice to kick the fucking dog and be mad at it, or realize, well, I haven't taken her out for 6 hours and you know, she was kind of pacing by the door, and I fed her all those pinto beans earlier, and you know, maybe I played a part in this. Maybe it's not all her fault. She can't open the door herself, you know? Like, come on, man. Come on. You know, like, yeah, you got some shit to clean up. That's unfortunate, but it's avoidable, and you know how to fix it next time. So don't be mad for a long period of time. Be a little bit discouraged that you got a stain on your carpet, and fix it. You know, and that it really is just kind of a metaphorical representation of anything in life. It really is. It's just all up to you on how you choose to look at it, because the way that you look at it and respond to it are going to chemically change what happens in your brain, right? And therefore what happens in the rest of your body, and therefore how you feel and perform on a daily basis. Yeah, you know, it might sound like a reach to some of you guys, but it's not. You know, it's such a trickle down effect of just one thing having a butterfly effect, as they say, on a million other things in your life, you know. It's amazing if you really trace it back, like what our actions and our behaviors and even our thoughts sometimes can inspire in ourselves and in the world around us. So you kind of have to be your own light sometimes. You know, you have to be the difference that you want to see in the world. You have to be, I think the Dalai Lama said that, I'm not sure, but that sounds like a quote. You have to be the change that you want to see in the world. You know, so you can't be sitting here talking about like world peace and happiness while you're cleaning your gun and, you know, like writing a hate speech. Those two things don't, you know, they just don't go together. You can't say one thing and do another and actually believe either one. So, you know, you gotta, if you're gonna talk about it, be about it, you know, make sure you're doing what you say you are doing and want to be doing. And that's not to say that, you know, again, I don't sit here and tell you this from a standpoint of you need to be like me because I'm perfect and I have all these medical degrees. No, I'm not a doctor. I'm not a licensed marriage family therapist. I'm not an addiction counselor. I'm not anything. I'm a regular ass dude, man, that has a lot of life experience with a lot of different things. And hopefully that experience will save someone out there watching this some time, or at least provoke some thoughts that will change maybe your course of action going forward. So anyways, that's kind of the point of this whole channel. I'm sure some of you watch this like, what is this guy talking about? Why are we watching this? I don't know why you're watching this. There's probably a lot of different reasons that you're searching for something, but I hope that you find something in this channel or in some of these videos that is helpful to you. If there is something that you would like to talk about, comment on, ask me, I am an open book. I try to be very available. You can reach me, you know, social media. The only things that I'm really active on are Facebook and Instagram, both just under Adam Coleman, my name. Or you can email me at thehumanperformanceproject1@gmail.com. So with that, you know, I hope that you'll take some of that as food for thought through the day and just really try to make it a goal to be and inspire that change that you say you want to see in the world. Wishing for something every day is not the same thing as dedication. So don't be afraid to step up, make some changes in yourself, even if it's not a popular opinion, and be true to your heart, man. Be true to what you know is the right thing for you to do, and don't ever let anyone stifle that. So until next time, be good human beings, find something to be happy about. Remember that life is all about your perspective and the way you look at things. And if no one has told you they love you today, I do, and I sincerely mean that. You're a good person. Find a way to bring that out of somebody else and enjoy the shit out of your Tuesday. Until next time, stay swell, stay swole, and don't do anything I wouldn't do. And if you do, make sure you name it after me. Till next time.